Hello. I think Celia, maybe you could let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to put some earphones in. Hi, Nettie. I was going to say give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, but I can't see anyone. Oh. Okay. I just need someone to let me know if the sound is coming through, which it should be. Hi, Samantha. Kansas City. So what time would it be there? Like 7 p.m. or something like that? Okay, we got sound. Good. Okay, so really quickly, we've got Celia. She is Mr. Binks the cat. So she's going to moderate for us. We just thought it was a good idea because sometimes when trolls on the internet see a live, they'll hop on and start spamming comments. She's just going to remove them if they pop up. So nobody panic. And I mean, the same rules apply with, no swearing, no porn links, obviously. No links at all because we can't be sure if we click them that they're legit. So don't click any links in the comments. You're welcome to let us know if you've got a YouTube channel though. Just use, I think it's the @ symbol to link us to that. So we know that it stays in-house and on YouTube and we're not leaving the platform to go elsewhere. And don't send anyone your personal details. That's the other thing. Hi, Sarah. Newcastle. Got a brother in Newcastle. Sherry Dodd. Hello, New Zealand. It's not, what is it? Is it 7 a.m. for you guys? It's early for us, isn't it? But I figure this is farming hours, isn't it? So for those of us, it's a bit of an early morning. For us in New Zealand, for me, it's 8 o'clock Saturday morning, but I was up anyway. Oh, I don't know how to say a name from the Netherlands. Mirjam. Mirjam, I'm really sorry. Probably butchering that. Hi, Kate. Yeah, Kate's, probably close enough to call a neighbor. So that's nice. Okay, I'm going to just get into it. And as you pop up, I'll say hello. 10 o'clock in New Zealand. Oh, okay, you're ahead of us. Let me just say, probably the first thing is a video or so ago, we kind of joked in the video. I think I said, I have an announcement. And Ro and I said, we're getting married. And I've had a whole heap of congratulation messages about our marriage, which was 5 years ago. The reason we joked about that in the video, it was kind of an inside joke. And I didn't quite realize that. I just didn't think. Obviously, nobody knows the inside joke. The inside joke is we got married in the US. And in Australia, that marriage certificate's accepted, like it's a valid marriage certificate. We just can't change our name. I can't change my name. So I can't legally just go. Normally, if you get married in Australia and you want to change your surname, you just go in with your marriage certificate everywhere or you send it off wherever you've got to do it and it just automatically switches over. I can't do that because it's not, the marriage certificate isn't classed as a valid marriage certificate. So we've kind of joked around. I mean, the easiest way for me to do it, otherwise I've got to do it by default, which means I've got to go through the process like I'm just voluntarily changing my name, which I guess I am anyway. But to save a lot of rigmarole, we're just going to get married in Australia. So we're going to get married again, which is as easy as just going signing a piece of paper. Our bishop at church can just witness. We can have witnesses. He can sign it. We can sign it. It can be really quick and easy. We just haven't done it. So that's where that's coming from. But I do have a photo to show you because we got married in the snow and I was so happy. So that's us. And that was in Salt Lake City. And as I flew in, I was just hoping so much. It was early December. I was hoping so much it would snow, but it doesn't normally snow that early, apparently. And as the plane was coming in, it started to snow and I couldn't believe it. I was so happy. Moroni hates the snow, so he wasn't that happy. But I got a white wedding and we've got all these wedding pictures in the snow. So I feel pretty chuffed about that. Anyway, that's where the marriage thing comes from. Okay, who else have we got here? Daphne. Oh, I love that name. Kurri, New South Wales, Australia. Nettie, I know where you are. Nettie's in Australia. Bell Gardens of NWA. Arkansas. I don't know where that is, sorry. I know it's in the US. Okay, Marie. Hello from Melbourne. Hello. Okay. All right. So the other thing, something else I wanted to talk to you. I do have a few questions to go through that have already been put in, but if you've got questions, feel welcome to ask them and I'll get through them. So there's a couple of things. So the first thing is, and I've kind of been mentioning in videos that I will address this at some point. I'll make a video. Haven't made a video yet. So probably now's a good time to talk about it. So as you know, if you've been following us for a while, we've been selling mainly via roadside. So for those of you who aren't familiar, we will make up a whole heap of bouquets and we'll take them out to the side of the road. Like we have specific locations and some require permits. So we'll take them to those locations on certain days. We advertise, customers know when we're going to be there and what time, and we will sell from the side of the road. And that went really, really well for a few years, like 3 years we did that for. And it slowly started to decline sort of after, well, actually, sales were amazing during the pandemic because everybody was sad and depressed. I think flowers was cheering people up. That's a commodity that people were sending to each other or buying for themselves. So then, as you know, the economy has not gone so well, the fallout of the pandemic. And I think in a lot of countries, like especially Australia, grocery bills and petrol are probably the two things, and housing prices and rent. But weekly, our petrol and our groceries have gone up so much that people aren't even buying all of the necessities they need, let alone any extras. So we kind of feel like that really stunted roadside. So sales have just been dropping to the point where sometimes we would go out and we'd sell one bouquet. And if you don't know our pricing for roadside, we will take out $35 bouquets, $55 bouquets, and usually one $75 bouquet. And it would often sell, but I'd have it there to make the $55 bouquets look cheaper. Like that's just a retail sort of trick to, you just have this expensive looking thing here, so everything else looks not as expensive. So now I've kind of lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Anyway, the sales dropped and we got to the point where I was really, really sick of just making all these bouquets all the time and then they weren't moving. And Ro and I was getting really, really sick of sitting on the side of the road and not selling flowers. Like it was kind of a waste of time, especially when we're thinking we have so much to do. We could be using that time way better. So anyway, I reckon we persisted for a year, like trying different things, trying different times, and it just sort of fell apart. And our best night, which was Friday nights, that was probably where we'd make the most money, like a couple of $100 just in a couple of hours, few hours. What happened there was a donut van, and they're very lovely people. They would always include us in their advertising for Friday nights, but they started going to that same location. We had a really good spot. So, of course, other vendors saw that and they wanted to do that too. A donut van came, and of course, donuts are really cheap. So, people could go and get some donuts. I think it was like 6 donuts for $10 or something like that. So, all of a sudden, this location we had, there was another item there that's highly consumable. Like you can buy it over and over and over every week. You could buy it over and over every night, really. And it was really cheap. And I think it made our flowers less desirable because people were going there for food. And then another vendor started there, a Greek food, like she had Greek food there. So, like souvlaki's. Um, I'm not sure if you know what these are. Australians will know. But anyway, it's like okay, for those that know what a burrito is, it's like a burrito, similar to a burrito, but it's Greek flavors. Okay, so that was there. They were quite expensive. They were $15, but it just became a food stopover, I think. So that was a real shame because we loved that spot. Friday nights are really good. But I guess the positive is we now have our Fridays back, which is we're actually enjoying. I'm just going to say hi to a few people and then I'll get back to the story. Um, Little Leafy Life, Mitchelton near Brisbane. So, or a suburb of Brisbane, I think it is, in Australia. Melanie P from Southeast East Victoria. Margaret Thompson, greetings from Estonia. Wow, that's so cool. What time is it there and what day is it? Ebony Knox, hello. Outram. I'm so bad. I can't even speak English. Okay. Um, where was I? Okay, so that all fell apart. So we are thinking we have to figure something out. We knew the winter was going to be rough. We knew we were going to have to, because we could see these sales dropping. We knew we were going, we've just come out of our winter, we're now in summer. We knew that we were going to have a very, very low sales time for about 6 months. We knew that was going to happen. And we kind of needed that time to rethink what we were going to do. So we just sort of lived very simply for about 6 months and we had some savings. So we've been using savings. So we did that for a little while and the prices of everything are going up. So we're starting to get a little bit stressed. Like, what is happening here? Is this business going to survive? What are we going to do? We kept the florist running so people could still order online. And, orders would come through maybe like at a guess, maybe $400 a week was sort of what we were making on the flowers, which if you know about how much it costs to live in Australia, that's not enough money to live on. So then we were just kind of supplementing with savings. And we really, really weren't doing anything extra. And it was winter. We'd already talked to the kids about it. The kids are kind of used to it. Like, I don't think it's a bad thing that you adjust your lifestyle to your income. So when you've got less, you just live more simply. And when you've got more, you can afford to do more with your life. So that's what we do. But it also means when we've got more, we're really good at saving because we're just so used to sort of living minimally. And there's not a lot of things that we like. I don't really like clutter, even though look at the background here. I've completely filled it with clutter for the video because look, I think it looks kind of cute. But I don't like too much stuff. And we live out on a property. The kids love being out here. We don't like crowds. So we were happy sort of not doing stuff. So we got through the winter. And then I had been speaking with the local service station. So it's called YCD Co. It's a really nice community-owned service station out here near where we live called Yackandandah. That's the town that we live near. And they are shareholder owned. So they're very supportive of the community. So I'd been communicating with them for a few months. Sort of start of winter, I started talking to them about, can you sell our flowers down there? And they can. But my concern was I didn't want to buy in flowers through the winter because if you also don't know, we have the flower farm, but we're also running a full-time florist business. So we're running that all year. We don't shut down when the flowers stop growing. We go to a wholesaler, florist wholesaler, and we purchase in flowers and everything is kept reliable for customers. They know they can get flowers all year. I didn't want to purchase flowers, take them down to the service station, and them not sell, and I'm having to throw away flowers that I've purchased. It's much easier to throw away flowers that you grew because you feel like they were free, even though I know they're not, but it just feels a little bit like that. So I just had to wait until our flowers came in. So then that happened a month or so ago. I rang up Dave at the servo and I just said to him, hey, we're ready to go if you're ready to go. And it's all gone through. And so far, so good. They're doing good sales. The only thing we're not sure about is it was right before Christmas. So of course sales are going to be a bit higher. This weird week between Christmas and New Year, sales, I went in the other day that hadn't made any sales, whereas I was having to sort of top up every couple of days prior to Christmas. So we'll just see what happens. At this point, it's going pretty good. So they take a 30% cut, which is why in the winter, I didn't really want to have to spend money on flowers. Whereas now we've got, around 6 months before our flowers will die, well, maybe 4 to 6 months before our flowers die, and I'm buying flowers in. And hopefully our customer base has built up to the point where through winter, people are still buying flowers and I'm not losing heaps of money on that. Because if you've also followed like the pricing structure, 30%, around 30% of the cost of our bouquets is the cost, like what it cost us to create that bouquet. So we will triple our cost, and that's the price of a bouquet. So on a $35 bouquet, we will spend, I try to keep it around $10. It's really hard now because flowers have increased in price too. So it's around the $12 mark. I'm going to have to try and get it back down to around the $10 mark through winter, because I will be spending, it'll be costing me 30%. I'll be giving the servo 30%. And then we're left with the 40% profit that's left over. We've got to pay tax out of that. So it's a bit of a juggling act, but that's one thing that's going on. That's one of the new income streams. The second new income stream, and this happened, I actually can't remember. I reckon it's maybe coming up to 3 months ago. So sort of in the spring. Moroni is an agricultural engineer. So he knows about, he's actually really good at large scale farming and plants and everything, but he had to relearn stuff when he came to Australia because our soils and farming practices are so different. But he knows a lot about plants and gardening. So he put himself out there to do garden consults and gardening, like sort of not mowing lawns and edging and all that stuff. He'll do it, but it's more sort of, I guess, curating gardens a little bit. So making them, he's mainly pulling weeds out at the moment. Like the clients he's got, they've got a mess. But then he's kind of making their gardens beautiful. So I guess it's a gardener. So he's been doing that and he's been really busy. And now that has become probably our main income while we change direction with the flower sales. Interestingly, though, the online, so ordering the flowers online, just boomed. I thought I was going to get a break over Christmas, and I didn't. I took Christmas Day off. Obviously, I'm not going to deliver flowers on Christmas Day, but then I'd have people calling me, begging me to deliver flowers because they'd forgotten or whatever's happened. So I've been very busy. I haven't really had a break. I had that one break on Christmas Day. That was it. But Christmas Day is not much of a break when you got kids. I'm just going to say hello. The Mistaken Garden. Hello. Whoa. Hello from Qualicum Beach, British Columbia, Canada. Hello. I'm really sorry if I'm butchering everybody's names. Christine Allen. Morning from Manawia. Oh my gosh. Taranaki. Oh, this is why. Okay, so this is one of the reasons why I want to just do a normal live where we can all hop on the screen and say our own names and town names. So I'm going to schedule that for sort of the middle of January. It will be a Google Meet call. So if you want to join in, email me so I can add you. I'll just put my email in the chat. So it's the team at Noble Flowers. I thought that wrong. flowers.com.au. Okay, so email me and I can send you the invite once I set that up, and we will be able to say our own names, which will be good. Okay, let me just quickly say hello, Little Leafy Life. Wow, you're a good pair then with your combined knowledge and passions. Thank you. We're actually really happy that we found each other because we both love gardens. Beck Bond. Hi from the Fleurieu Peninsula. I don't know where that is. But hello. I hope I haven't missed anybody. Christine. Mistaken Garden. Yes, I tried to say that. Beck Bond. Oh, I said hello. Okay, Mistaken Garden. I'll get back to your question in a sec. Margaret Thompson, almost midnight. Wow, you are so dedicated. Thank you for being here. The The Mistaken Garden, you're my inspiration. I started making YouTube videos because of you. Good, that's amazing. That's awesome. Susan Hamilton. Susan, your favourite stalker from the Hawkesbury, New South Wales. Where's Moroni? Moroni is probably still in bed. He likes to sleep in, and James sleeps in, and they snuggle together. So he didn't have to go to work this morning. So I would dare say he's trying to have a sleep in. But if you're an early bird, try to have a sleep in. You're lucky to get to like 7 or 8 o'clock. So I don't know how he's doing in there. Plus the kids will be up. Does anybody know about Sylvanian families, those cute little dollhouse things? I have a good collection because I love them. Anyway, I got them out last night. So the kids couldn't wait to get up this morning, like the 2 younger ones, and they're playing with that. So that might be what's happening there. Anyway, so back to my story. That's the other income stream. So we've added in the service station with selling the flowers. And I've got to say, I feel like that we're talking with other ones as well, because I think that will replace roadside. And it's so much easier. I just make all the bouquets here. I deliver them and they put it through their system, and then I send them an invoice every 2 weeks. So if we can get a few more of those up our sleeve, which it's looking like we will, we have replaced roadside from back in the days, not recent roadside where we made nothing. And then the gardening and consulting, Moreno's actually really loving it. And it's something that has the potential to turn into a business of its own with employees. And that's my hope with the florist business too. I would like to get it to a point where it's full-time busy, like a florist shop, full-time busy, because it's not at this point, and employ someone to just run it for me. That's the plan. Okay. Little Leafy Life. My nearly 1-year-old does not know what sleep in is. No. I've been so lucky. All 3 kids have slept in. I don't even know how I've achieved it because I get up early. I don't know. They all sleep in, but I sent them to bed late. So that was probably why. Annie Wildmush. Hello from Montreal. Hello. Alison Slater. Hello from, I think you pressed enter. Oh, you've taken it away. Okay, anyway, I'm going to get into some questions now. So, hello from South Australia. Hello. Okay, I don't know where it went, but there was a question. I just don't know where it is now. So somebody had put it on the message on somewhere on this video or before it went live. And I'm really sorry now I can't see your name, but I do know the question. And it was about the grass pathways. Why do we have grass pathways in our flower field? And why aren't we using like the black, what's it called? What's that stuff called? Weed barrier stuff, the stuff that everybody uses and they plant their plants in. So our first reason is we actually really love the look of the grass. And Moroni and I, if we like the look of something, that is going to outweigh every other rationale around why we should do something. So that is the reason. Apparently ads are going to run. Ads will run shortly for some viewers. I'm really sorry that this is happening. I don't know what is happening there. So that's going to suck a bit. But okay, so the pathways, we really like the look of the grass, but there's actually some benefits to having grass pathways that are just nice, sort of, that make our decision a good decision. So one of the reasons is grass has a really good cooling effect for areas. So if you look at urban areas where there's a lot of concrete and not a lot of trees, that massive concrete retains heat and it makes things much hotter than they need to be. Whereas if there's lots of grass and trees, oh, I've got a kid coming in. Hello. Oh, I think she wants to say hello.
Hello.
Okay, what are you up to? Okay, go on.
Love you.
What are you going to do? You can't stay in here while I'm talking.
What could I make for breakfast?
Well, I bought all that stuff like eggs and bacon and there's the bagels and stuff. Okay, love you. Is James up?
Yeah.
Okay.
He couldn't come over because he didn't put pants on.
James was going to come and have a look, but he didn't have pants on. We have to watch this kid. I've had to edit out so much stuff in videos because of that. Okay, hop out. Love you.
Love you, Mum.
Okay, so this
Bye.
cooling effect, there's specific terms for this. I've just forgotten them. So the grass, and if you've got grass and trees around your home's a lot cooler than if it's just sort of fairly barren and there's nothing there. So it's a cooling effect for the flowers, which where we're farming, I mean, we're in Victoria, we're not as hot as other places in Australia, but we can get really hot days. And the sun is very intense in Australia. So it actually acts as a cooling effect. Um, and the other reason, what would I say? The other benefit to having grass pathways is you're not killing your soil. So there's, all the little bugs and the worms and everything, they can move everywhere. And if you've got that black plastic and you lift it up and you have a look underneath, the soil's just dead. Like I know that the water and stuff can get through there, but it's not letting sunlight through. For us, the soil gets very, very compacted underneath that um, weed barrier, very compacted, very unhealthy soil. We just didn't really want to do that because what if one day we want to switch up the layout and then we've got to redo all that soil too? So that's why. And the reason we don't use the weed mat stuff in our rows, like to plant the flowers in amongst, is because we have very invasive grasses and it would be absolutely pointless. I'll show this on a video because I do have some where um, I'm setting up for the big cocoon tunnel. The grass just grows up through the holes. So what would happen to us is it'd kill off everything. Like the soil around the plants would be terrible because it's all kind of starved of nutrients and compacted and crappy. And then where the hole is, where the plant's growing out, would just have tufts of grass coming out. So it's just not a product that works for us. The only way we use it is if we're putting it somewhere where we're not growing at all. So I've got it underneath the hothouse, like the propagation tunnel, because I don't really want stuff growing up there. The grass still finds its way, it weaves its way out through the gaps. I'll just pull it out, but I'll try and put it in the next video. I'll show you what the soil looks like underneath that tunnel. Looks pretty bad. And then I'm putting it along the edges. So we'll have our cocoon tunnels. There's 3, so there'll be 3 in a row. And between them where they dip down, I'm putting a row of that fabric because I don't want grass to grow up between the cocoon tunnels. And it'll be inside each tunnel about that much. And it's just so we can run a garden bed right up against the edge and not have grass in there. But we won't be growing on those pieces between each cocoon tunnel. It'll just be enough room to just walk down between to do maintenance and lift edges up. So that's your answer to that question. Somebody asked where Moroni is. Did I already say that? Yeah, I don't think he's coming. Let's just say that. He just really doesn't like being on camera. And when you start YouTube, you do realize pretty quickly whether it's for you or not. And it wasn't really something, I mean, in the beginning, I was just documenting the flower farm, document it. But it turns out I actually really, really love this. I feel like this could be my calling in life. So I really love it. And this is, December, 3 years on YouTube, right? I've just hit 3 years on YouTube. And I've consistently made a video every week, sometimes 2 a week. There's only been a couple of times where I've missed a week because something's happened or I just couldn't keep up or our internet was bad. So he doesn't love being on camera and I don't mind being on camera. Okay, let's go through here. Oh, it's 8 o'clock at Berrigan. Yep, you'd be the same as us, Nettie. I need to scroll down. Hang on. Let me see what I'm up to. Probably I better go back and answer that question so that I don't miss. Are you selling seeds? Okay. I feel like to sell really high quality seeds, I feel like we'd need a much bigger property and we'd need to be able to separate varieties really well to make sure what we were selling to people was exactly what we told them it was going to be. An example is we use the Radiant Sunflower. We love that one. And we seed saved, and the seeds that we've grown, the flowers that have grown from those seeds this year are all over the place. Nothing's uniform. And there's some really cute ones, but some of them are really bad pollen droppers. It's been very inconsistent. I had some. I don't think I've got any left to show you, but these look pretty standard there, but they've been very hit and miss. So I could sell that as a surprise mix. You don't know what you're going to get. It could just be like, oh, a surprise mix from, you know, Phaedra Garden farm. But what most seed, unless you're really, really, sorry, I just moved that. Unless you're really very thorough with how you're growing the plants and protect them from cross pollination and then harvesting, it's not something that I would feel confident in saying unless I was just selling the seed as, you know, this is a cross pollinated variety, a surprise. And that's why sometimes when you buy seeds from small growers, you don't end up getting what you thought you were going to get. But I am looking at, I feel like the varieties that we grow, we've bought in bulk. Like you have to spend a lot of money and buy them in bulk to get those varieties. And some of these varieties we buy from the actual seed house that other sellers, seed sellers, are buying from, and then they repackage and then they sell. So I have thought about doing that if people are interested, selling the varieties that we grow. So you will have seen exactly what's produced from that seed. And then we buy more, like we buy more bulk, and then we can repackage into our packaging and on sell. So I am it's very early days. Like I've only just probably in the last month really thought, hey, maybe that's something that we could do, because I have thought about selling seed. I'd like to, but I needed to overcome that barrier of the cross pollination, and our property's not big enough to do that. To be realistic, I wouldn't have the time, and we probably don't really have the time to grow that amount of flowers that we weren't selling at this point. So that's the answer there. Oh, it just jumped. Hang on a second. Okay. Have you thought of, Nettie, have you thought about Beechworth for selling flowers? So Beechworth is a town about 30 minutes from us. It's another cute historic town like Yackandandah, but it's much bigger and it's just absolutely full of tourists, like very, very packed. I went up there the other day. I couldn't even get a car park. So we just drove home. We're like, we'll come back another day. Nettie, I have thought about, and I have advertised in the early days fairly extensively through Beechworth, and we got a little bit of sales. But one of the barriers is they have a very established florist up at Beechworth, and people are very loyal to her, which I understand completely. Of course, why wouldn't they be? She's been there for a long time, and she's, I guess she's got the monopoly on it a little bit. The annoying thing is she's also got a bit of a monopoly over yak, which I'm slowly kind of breaking down. But yeah, so I am working on it. I just need to find a model that works up there. And I have something in mind. I just don't want to say it. So I will say it in a video if that works out. I don't want to say it until I've sorted it out, is what I'm getting at. Okay. The mistaken garden, mulch. I don't know why you're saying that. I'm trying to think what I was talking about back then when you said that. Okay. Oh, I was trying to think of the name of the thing. Yeah, gotcha. That was the weed mat. Sarah Deb. Me too, Phaedra. Beauty over practicality every day. Yes. The mistaken garden. Grass is wonderful. In our area, lots of people are moving towards rocks and wood chip walkways because of the water restrictions in the summer. How I think grass is way more beneficial. I think it cut out then. Grass just turned into moss, but that's fine. Yeah, we are in an area that has higher rainfall than the average. Our grass, I mean, it used to die off in summer, and we loved that because we got a break from mowing. But over the last probably 5 years, it hasn't died off. So we've just had to mow all summer. The type of grass we have, it's kikuyu, which was a terrible plan. But the good news about it is it'll die off in summer because it gets too hot, and then it just bounces back as soon as the rain hits it. We don't water the grass out in the field though. So those grass pathways, they're just surviving off the water from the flowers. We're probably watering the flowers more than we need to, and it's watering that grass too. Okay. Sarah Deb. It's also really hard to plant young seedlings in the weed barrier when succession planting in summer because it's just too hot. Yes. I have wondered how you've done that. And I know you can get one that's black on one side and white on the other side. And I think we would have to use the white side. Um, the other thing I've wondered is could you put mulch on top of your weed mat, like a pea straw or something? But then I'm sort of like, you may as well just not have the weed mat. So anyway, it's not something that makes sense to me to use that weed barrier. The Flower Yard. Hello from Warwickshire, UK. Hello. Art by Anne J and Flowers by B in the Clover. Hi. That question is from me. Oh, and from, oh, hello. That was your question about the rose. I'm not using weed mat as a pathway inside my flower patch, only on the outside edges. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Like where fencing and things are going or permanent structures that I don't want grass to grow up, that's what I use it for. And it does work really good for that. Little Leafy Life. I've got very sore eyes. You know how I had that bung eye and it went red? They've been so sensitive since then. I'm going to have to go to an optometrist. I went to a doctor. They said, can't do anything, just deal with it. I'm going to go to an optometrist and get them checked again. But I'm having trouble reading this. I should have brought my glasses out. What an idiot. But anyway, love your videos and the way you film and talk to the camera. It's so natural and easy watching. Definitely agree you find out fast if it's for you or not. Yep. Mistaken garden. It's always nice to grow seeds from other people around the world. I just think it's fun. Yes, I do too. Susan Hamilton, is YouTube still generating some income for you as per previous videos we've discussed it? Yes, and it has increased a little bit. I also feel like now that I'm almost at 3,500 subscribers, and it's been a really slow process. Like I've seen other people just absolutely skyrocket really fast. But my thoughts on that are I actually really like the slow pace. Well, to others, maybe this isn't slow. Maybe others are watching me and thinking it's fast. But it's been 3 years. I'm at 3,500 almost. I actually really like the pace that it's moving at because I feel like nothing went viral enough that thousands of people just followed me because they liked that one video. Because I see other channels, they've got thousands and thousands of viewers, but in some cases I get more views per video than they do. And I think what happened, I'm just assuming this, I think what happened is they got some viral videos, people just subscribe because they don't even think about it. They just, oh, I like this, I'm going to subscribe. And then they never come back and watch another video. Whereas I don't think that's happened to me. And I actually really like that it hasn't happened to me. I've got that one short, it's got like 150,000 views. That's the most viral that anything's gone. I think maybe that got like 160 subscribers. So it wasn't a huge amount. And I'm happy because maybe some of those people never came back to watch another thing, especially when the views have come, especially when the subscribers come from shorts. It's often people that want short form content. And I don't love that. I like long form. So yeah, the growth of the channel, I don't even know, am I right off track here? What was the question? Oh, generating income. Yeah, so obviously as it's not so much the subscriber count to watch to know if someone's making income on YouTube. It's the views per video. That's where the money comes from because you get paid per 1,000 views. So if I have a video that has really good views, I get paid really well for that. If I have a video like that video I put out yesterday, the trellis, I'm just gonna have a drink. The grape trellis, it's not performing very well. And I can tell because in the back end of YouTube, there's the analytics and it'll tell you. So the click-through rate's low, which means the title and the thumbnail aren't really appealing to people. I will change the thumbnail. So I'm not making much money off that video, but I wanted to do it. And sometimes I just do things because I want to do it. I'm not so much doing it to get subscribers or to make money off it. It's just, I do hope that one day I can make a living off this. Like that is the goal. But I also had a 5 to 7 year plan to get to that point. And I started making money within 2 years of being on here. So it's just play money at the moment. And it's nice to have play money. So I'm not complaining, but yes. So if you want to know if I'm making more money than last time, just have a look at how many views I've got on videos, and I'm pretty well consistently getting over 1,000 views per video now, which I think is pretty good. Oh yeah, Mr. Binks the cat is saying hit the like button and it helps. It actually does. It sends a message to the algorithm that you've enjoyed that video and you didn't just put the video in and walk away and not watch it, that you're actually an active engager on the video if you hit like buttons. And that's for everybody that you like on YouTube. If you're watching somebody, just hit the like button for them. And the comments are really good too. Okay, Little Leafy Life. You said you're from Kuna. Where did you meet Moroni and what made you settle in Vic? Okay, I haven't shared any of this story. I don't know if I'm ready to yet. Originally, I was born in Coonabarabran, so that's a little town up in the middle of nowhere. Maybe you've heard of Tamworth, for those of you who are from elsewhere. There's a big music festival, an international one called the Tamworth Music Festival. Maybe it's the Golden Guitar or something. I don't know. I should know, but I don't. So up that way, sort of, just before Tamworth. I grew up there, and then my parents divorced, and then I moved to a little place called Talamba, which I then lived for another nearly 10 years. No, not quite 10 years. Maybe, I don't know. I think maybe it was only like 3 or 4 years. But it was sort of the Shepparton area, so that's where I went to high school and everything. Then I moved to Albury to go to uni, and I pretty much stayed in the area. So Albury's it's about 30 minutes from where I am now. So we got out of town. That's what happened. I was actually married before, so I've been through a divorce. The girls have a different dad, and I was a single mum. And I kept going to Utah because I'm Latter-day Saint. So I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, otherwise known as Mormons, not to be confused with fundamentalist Mormons. They're the ones that do polygamy and have questionable wives. We're quite normal. So I would go to, I'm sorry if you're a fundamentalist and that offended you. I actually watch documentaries about you because I find it so fascinating. But anyway, I don't want to live as a fundamentalist, but whatever. So I was going to Utah a lot, and there's, how there's dating apps? Like, well, I never got on Tinder. I'm a good Christian lady. Anyway, so there was a church one. It was called, what was it called? I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, there's a dating app that a lot of church members use. And I had just left Salt Lake City for the first time I went, just left. And then I connected with this guy called Moroni because he had a picture of himself in a cornfield. He was like looking at a piece of corn. I'm like, oh, this guy likes gardening. So that was the reason I like him. And then we matched. And so then we kind of communicated. We said hello to each other. And he goes, oh, are you in? Because it shows where you are. I was literally like, I think leaving on the plane, it was still showing that I was in Salt Lake City. So that's why I showed up on his end. I said, I'm actually on the plane, I'm leaving. I'm not back for another 6 months. So anyway, we chatted for 6 months, went back, we met. And then a few months later, we got married, and we got married in Salt Lake. So it happened really fast. It's actually a much more involved story. And there was a lot of divine intervention. I was meant to marry this man. So that's that story. That's how we met. We met online. I'm just trying to think, how'd you meet Moroni? What made you settle in Vic? Okay, I settled in Vic because I came to uni. Moroni settled here because I imported him. So he was living in Salt Lake, and I pulled him away from a really nice job over there, and brought him over to Australia, where he wasn't allowed to work for 3 months while we waited for his visa and for his permanent visa. And yeah, it's been it was a long, sort of stressful road in the beginning, but we just knew it was going to work. So I might do a more detailed, maybe I'll do a video on that a bit down the track. Maybe when I reach 100,000, I'll do one. So help me. Okay. Greenie's Garden, better late than never. Hi, everyone. Hello. Okay, Ebony. How do you stay motivated and inspired to keep working hard? Any strategies for juggling kids, household, flower farming, and your own cup to be filled? Okay. I'm less energetic than I was when I was younger. I often think, "Oh, I wish I could go back and have that much energy." I just don't. Like, as I've got older, I've actually had to force myself to rest. But back in the day, I never rested. I was constantly doing stuff because I get bored so easy. I like to be doing things, and I'd always kind of gravitate towards friends who liked to do things. And then I'd have a couple of friends that would do nothing together, but that's fun too sometimes. Anyway, I don't know why I said that. Um, I don't know how I stay motivated. I just do it. And after the divorce and stuff, I do feel like if I didn't get divorced, I was gonna end up very depressed. And I feel like that never left. I've got this undertone, which you'd never know, but I sort of think to myself, I could on the days where I'm down, I think I could mope around and be depressed and just do nothing. I could go and do something while I'm depressed. So that's what I do. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just very energetic. How do you stay motivated and inspired? I think with the gardening, it is what I love to do. It's like I'm addicted to it. Rona and I will, and he is too. So it's a match made in heaven, literally. So we will try and take a day off. Like Christmas Day, we were like, this might be the only day we get off. We're going to lie on the couch all day. We couldn't do it. We were so bored. We did try and kind of force ourselves not to work, but we actually really love working. We love gardening. People my age, like I'm 40 now, so people are like, "Oh, I can't wait to retire, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "You are doing the wrong thing then if that's all you're thinking about. Go and do something you love to do that you don't wanna retire from." I can't imagine myself retiring. I just have no I can't imagine what it looks like for me to retire. Alls I can think is I'm still gonna be doing something, and I really like business, and I really like making money. I'll still be trying to do that. Strategies for juggling kids. Okay, here's my strategy, which may not work for everybody. Have some kids and then have some kids and then have your rough time with those two kids because you can't get a lot done. But ideally, have girls first that like to just follow you around and do everything with you. So that's what I did. And then have a massive gap and then have another one who's a boy and just he never stops. But you've got these two older girls that think they're mums and they play mummies all day and they love to look after him. So I actually get a lot done because I've got two in-house babysitters. And I mean, yesterday I had to go do a photo shoot. It was just up the road. I just paid them to babysit. And so they look after him. I don't usually pay them. They just play with him and stuff. But I can be out in the field, they're around the house and they're keeping an eye on him. So my strategies aren't very helpful. um, with the household, if you've got kids, you need to give them jobs and they need to help you around the house. I feel like I'm a caring mum, but I don't do everything for my kids. I've been making their own lunches. I make sure they've got their lunch. Like you do have to actually make sure they've done the job. But they've been making their own lunches since they were about 7. And then when they get home, they have to unpack their bags, put their lunch boxes on the sink. I don't unpack bags. There's a lot of jobs in the house because I figure, why just because I'm the woman should I be the maid of the house? And everybody in the household understands that. I still have to keep everyone organized. The one thing I do is the laundry because I figure they can mess those clothes up real fast. But sometimes if I've got things in piles already, the girls will whoever's walking past will just put the loads in the washing machine when it's finished. They're not very keen to put them on the line, but I usually figure that out. We kind of all pitch in. I think that's what you need to do. And in terms of housework, very rarely do I get a 2-hour window to I don't really want to have a 2-hour window where I just clean flat out. I did on Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. The house got a deep clean. I just do bits and pieces. Like I might do the bathroom one day, toilet a couple of times a week, floors, get vacuumed every night because we're on a farm. The kids do that though. And I think you just need to have something in place where you're not doing everything. And what do I do to fill my own cup? I really like to go for walks. I get overstimulated really easily. I have to kind of get away from the noise and people. So I go for a walk or I come into the shed. I've started doing workouts. I'll do that and it makes you feel really good, like boost your endorphins. Um, and I like to drink hot chocolate. So I will sit down and drink a hot chocolate, usually of an afternoon while before the kids come home from school, because I try to do it at night and it just doesn't happen. They want to sit there and talk to me, which is fine. Mr. Binks, you're doing a great job. She's making sure everybody hits the like button on this video. Thank you. If you're watching afterwards, we're talking about hitting the like button. Okay. Martha, hello from Monterey Bay area of California, zone 10. Wow. That is pretty warm, isn't it? Is that getting into sort of tropical zoning? We would be the equivalent of about zone B in the US, somewhere around there. Oh, hang on. It keeps jumping, so it's hard to sort of watch. The Mistaken Garden. For a video that's, say, 5,000 views, how much do you get for that? I actually get a really high rate per 1,000 views. If I had a 5,000 view video, it depends too, because it depends on the video length. It depends how many ads go in. And I can't be bothered sitting down to organize the ads. I just click the button on YouTube and let them choose what they want to do. So that's why sometimes there might be some very random ad breaks. I haven't planned that. I just let them do it. That's kind of hard to say, but let me think. 5,000 views. It depends on a lot of things, but let's just say a video, just one of my vlogs, like where I've made sort of like the story, the Saturday vlog, that could 5,000 views on that could bring in, I could get 80 to $100 for that. But depends if I usually keep them around 20 minutes, so it's usually fairly standard. It is hard to say that because it actually depends what age group is watching as well, and it depends on the time of year. July, which is our winter. Actually, let me say this. Have you noticed in December on YouTube, YouTubers are just pumping out the videos? I mean, I watch Mr. Beast. He rarely posts a video. December, it must be every second day there's a video out. It's because you make more money in December. And there's all these different clever ways to have more videos. And you will have seen Vlogmas, people doing Vlogmas where they do a video every day. I don't think I'm ever going to do that because it's just so much work. And the views aren't very high. Like, I just don't think it's worth it for most channels, not for mine anyway. Okay, so in December, I will make much more money on a video than January and February, it's probably going to drop a lot. So it's all about advertisers. So obviously leading up to Christmas, advertisers are paying more. They want their ads out there because they want people to buy for Christmas. So at times of the year where they're wanting, like a known times of the year where people want to buy, there's going to be more money to make on YouTube. So it's really hard to answer that. And you know those you can type into those websites and you can say, and they'll tell you how much a YouTube channel's making. It's not true. I looked up mine. It was nothing like. It was completely way off. So you can't really, I really don't think you can know how much someone's making on YouTube unless they specifically show you what they're making. Maybe I will one day. Do you think YouTube slows down over Christmas because everyone is so busy? Actually, well, I kind of just answered that. There is a huge amount of content going onto YouTube over Christmas. Even I did some extra videos. I just wanted to see what would happen. And I did make a little bit extra money, but it was a lot of effort for probably not a lot of extra money, to be honest. I feel like I don't watch as much YouTube in December because I am too busy. So I do sometimes think when I see people doing Vlogmas and their views drop, people don't have time to be watching a video every day unless it's your absolute most favorite channel. One of my favorite channels did Vlogmas one year and I watched every video because I love her. She's that's Nikki Positano. If you haven't heard of her, that's a really fun channel to watch. Tamworth Country Music Festival. Thank you, Daphne. We got the proper name for that now. I'm late. Hello from Dallas, Texas. I really want to go to Texas. I've never been. That's Liz. Mini Pen and Me. Hello, just remembered. Hello. Are you still doing any photo work? Okay, yes, I am. And for some reason that's also picked up. I've been so busy this last couple of months. I do mainly commercial work. So I do work for businesses. So I'll go whatever they want to do. Like I'll do the work for their business, basically. So one of the jobs I did recently was for it's called Totally Renewable Yackandandah. They're trying to encourage people to be more renewable. So they do a lot of solar panel work, and they're in town. They've actually set up their own power company. Excuse me. It's called Indigo Power. Indigo Power. I've had a weird voice when I said that. And so Totally Renewable Yackandandah has been part of building a kind of a town solar share. So there's I think it was a pilot program, can't remember. There was a whole heap of homes that were all kind of connected. They had their solar panels. I think there was a battery backups. And if one household didn't need all their solar, it would go back into the like area, and another household that needed some extra solar that day would use that solar. So they're kind of all generating solar. And it was kind of to ensure that everybody was sort of running off solar for the maximum amount of time. So that's the company. I had to do a heap of photos, like drone shots of solar panels. They've got huge arrays up on buildings, and their batteries, and just their committee and things like that. So that's the kind of jobs I mainly do. And then I'll do small businesses where they want some product shots, or they want work. They want, like a few months worth of photos for their social media, stuff like that. And then I do some family photo shoots, like coming up to Christmas when people are having their family get-togethers. They'll often not often hire me, but people will hire me to come while the whole family's together, and I get all the family photos. And then I do daycare centers, which I don't talk about, I never post about, because it's photos of kids. So that's I go in and take photos of the kids, and the parents buy the photos. I think because it's like 13 years I've been doing this now, nearly 13 years. I think it's just taken that long for it to take off. So back when I had only been doing it for like 4 or 5 years, I thought I was really good, but I wasn't. I was pretty good. Like I think I was just naturally good at it. So I was better than others at that point. But I think it's just one of those things that takes time. And I think I've got to the point where it's people are recommending me. So I am getting pretty busy. I've got to figure out, it's good money. It's really good money. So I'll keep doing it. Hardworking and smart people like you, they never retire. That's what I think. We just won't. I can't imagine it. They just enjoy life, and you're such a pleasure to watch working. Oh, thank you. That's so lovely. Greetings Garden, Phaedra. Remind people to watch a video on growing ranunculus from seed. I grew from seed that I'd saved from the season before, and have a lot of new corms. Oh, that's a good idea. Because if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, now is a very good time to start your ranunculus from seed. And it's a cool way to get some varieties that you can't get from corms. And it's a very cheap way to build up some ranunculus stock. I've actually got my seeds. They're in these boxes. I left them in the trays. So they grew through, I probably should do a little updated video and then refer people to that original video. But I grew the ranunculus from seed in trays. I use big trays. I don't use cell trays. It's too hot here. Everything dries out too quick. I just put them in, left them in the hothouse, and they grew their leaves. They bulked up a little bit. The corms are about this big. They're pretty small. But instead of lifting them, I've literally left them in the dirt, in the trays, and I've just stored the trays in these boxes behind me. So we're going to see how that works. It'll be a couple more months before all I'm going to do is start watering those trays again and see what sprouts, and then I'll transplant them into the ground. So I think I've even made it even easier for us to do this. The thing with the ranunculus corms is the first season, you're just developing corms. You're not going to get flowers. The second season, you will get flowers. Some of mine had really good flowers, and some were just little tiny ones. It's the third season where they start operating like really, like the commercial sort of corms. So it is a bit of a investment in time, but it's actually easy. Like there's not a lot of work. You're just waiting. Retirement is a whole different ball game when you're self-employed versus employee. Yeah, it is. I mean, if you've created a life you love, why do you want to leave it? Wendy, hey there. Hi, Wendy. Now I have a question. I heard the ad has to run to the end for you to get paid. True. I think so. I think so. And I think there's some ads. I actually pay for YouTube Premium. I don't ever see ads. So I don't know. But I do sometimes when you Google something, it won't go to my premium account. I just have to watch an ad and it's so annoying. I think I'm so used to not having them. But anyway, I think you do have to watch the whole ad. So sometimes when before I had YouTube Premium and I was watching ads and I really loved a particular YouTuber, when an ad came on, I just think, okay, I'm just gonna do it for them and just let it run so they can get their money for that. But yeah, like you need a lot of people to do that. Nettie, I'm having fun just making my videos on my channel as I've tried to aim for 5 a month. Okay, so Nettie has a channel. So if you've got a YouTube channel, just let us know so that we can click on and check out everyone's channels. Yeah, it's fun. Mistaken Garden. Hey Nettie, I just subscribed to you. Oh, that's sweet. I love how you're having a little conversation with each other. Okay, who else here has a YouTube channel? Oh yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah. Mistaken Garden. Phaedra, what flowers would you like to grow that you haven't already? And are you planning to grow veggies? Okay. I know I keep saying I don't want to do peonies, but we think we do now. But not like on a commercial scale. I think we just want them in our own garden as something pretty to enjoy. So I don't know how many we would do, maybe 15 plants, 15 or 20 max. Because do you remember the bouquet? So a few videos back, I did the bouquet, what was it called? Review, where you guys sent in, or I shouldn't say guys, you sent in pictures of your bouquets and I critiqued them. So in that video, there was this amazing corally orange peony that I was going on about. Turns out it wasn't. It was a, a very fluffy looking tulip. I'm so disappointed that that wasn't a peony. As soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm growing peonies. I'm getting these orange peonies and I'm growing them, but that doesn't exist. But I did get one from Bunnings, and we know Bunnings is our local hardware store, and they are renowned for mislabeling plants, especially bulbs and things. So I did buy a peony from there. I got no idea if it's going to be what it says it is, but I got one. Like it was just reduced to I don't know $8 or something. I thought, what have I got to lose? And I will look into it. There is a big peony farm down the road from us, and they did mention to Morona a while ago the variety that does best in our area. So I'm going to look into it. But so peonies is something that I do want to try now. As you know, I love hydrangeas, and I've got 50 of those hydrangea cuttings. I've just got to pot them up very soon and then sit them through this summer and hopefully plant them out during the winter. What else do I really want to grow? I've wanted to grow those beautiful, those peony-looking poppies, but I've grown poppies in the past, and I really don't like the way that they spread everywhere, so I'm not going to do it. Sorry. Oh, another thing is the tree dahlia. It just won't flower here. It grows, the rabbits will chew it off, and then I just can't seem to get it going. But I think I'm going to move some of the roots out into the flower field when I get the fence on, and see if I can get it going out there. If it gets hit by frost, it's obviously going to die, and it needs a really long season to flower. So that's something that I really want to flower. And of course, there's a whole heap of tropical flowers that I want that I can't have because our area is just such heavy frost. And it's sometimes even cold enough that the frost won't even kill them. The cold will kill them. So there's some flowers I just can't do. Where are we? You haven't what flowers? Oh, are you still planning to grow veggies? Are you still planning to grow veggies for selling? I don't think I was ever going to sell them. I kind of does anybody follow Farm Lux on I should have bought that book out. It's the most amazing book. I just got a new book. I'll put a picture up on Instagram, on the Phaedra Gardeness Instagram. I'll put that up later today of this book. So there is an account on Instagram called Farm Lux. Her name's Misha. I can't remember where she lives. I think it's somewhere I'm making this up, but I think it's somewhere over near the Seattle sort of way in the US. Someone might need to correct me. I might have that wrong. She just has the most amazing garden where she grows flowers and food and she donates it. And that's what I would like to do. Like, if I can grow enough veggies, I'd like to be able to lighten the burden on other families with some veggies. That's what I would like to do. And I'd like to be in a financial position where our garden becomes like a giving garden. And that's what Misha from Farmlux does. And I just would love her. And her book is so beautiful. It's amazing. So I should have brought it out here with me, but I forgot. I'll pop that up on Instagram later today, so you can have a look at that book. It's just so beautiful. Like, I'm enjoying. I don't read a lot. I listen to podcasts. So I don't have time to sit and read. I should make it, but I just don't. I'm at this stage in my life. I'm not a reader. Okay, I'm a listener. But I am. This is one book I just can't. I love it, and the photos are beautiful. And I'd love to be able to do a book like that one. I have an idea for a book, but it's years away. Sorry. I'm just trying to find where we're up to. I think it'd be fun to watch a video game. Oh, I think it would be fun to watch a video of you going to a local nursery. It's fun seeing nurseries from other places in the world. That's a good idea. We've got some really cute ones around here. I have thought about that. It feels weird. But I should. I should just get some permission off, contact some nurseries and see if they're happy for me to film. And maybe they might even be happy to talk about how their operation works in there too. Okay, I'll write it down. Nursery, like a nursery tour. Is that what it was? Local nursery, yep. Okay. Cole. I know your name, but I don't know if you want me to say it, so I won't. I'm late. Not sure if this has been asked. Where and how do you grow your lilies? Okay, the lilies. That's a good question, actually, because we just don't even look after them anymore. I put the lilies, so right next to the propagation tunnel, which is near the house, just behind that, there's a couple of garden beds that I keep meaning to pull out, and I just still haven't, because I want the space to put the shade tunnel there. That's where all the lilies are. And I've just never lifted them. I leave them. I just haven't bothered. I just left them there, and they're just loving life. They love it. But the beds are now filled with grass. So this winter, that is a project. I'm going to pull them up. So I am going to have to find somewhere to grow the lilies, which is a bit of a shame because they do so well there. And it's part shade. So some of them, it's just a really good spot. I wonder if I shouldn't move them, if I should just clean up those beds. I don't know. Because we're still getting lilies now, and it's the end of December, and most places around here, they're finished. So I don't know what to do about that. But yeah, that's where we grow them, and how we grow them. we just put them in very tall, deep garden beds, and we forgot about them. I don't even water them. They just survive, which is amazing. Probably Moroni puts a bit of water on it when he walks past, but I haven't actually seen him in there actually watering. Alison Slater. I have a YouTube channel, Mr. Binks. It's acres and intersections. Oh yeah, acres and intersections. That sounds cute. Cottage reno and gardening. Okay, we need to check that out. Maybe this is an idea. If you sign in on that account and then watch lives on that account, because then we could just click straight on it. Can you add it to link us? Okay. Greetings Garden. Lol, my channel is so dinky. Don't say that. I make these for fun and have no intention to monetize. I can't fit an editing program on my old laptop. Oh yeah, that would be very tricky. But you should be proud of what you're doing, because it's obviously not everyone's doing YouTube. So it's a big thing that you're even on here. Did you see that seed collection there? I have the Zinnia Lime Queen series, seed series. Yes. I do, and I have some, and they won't grow for me. So I don't know what's going on. That's probably nothing to do with them. It's probably me. Okay, Alison, are you still starting seeds this late in the season? I cooked all mine and don't know if it's worth starting again. Okay. If you want flowers for autumn, you need to start them by the middle of January. So if you weren't planning, look, maybe it's too late to you could get some stuff in now if you've totally missed stuff. Like sunflowers, zinnias will still grow because there's enough time. They're very fast. Feverfew, if you do it from the cuttings, you'll get some. and I've got a video on that. What else could go in that's got enough time? Otherwise, I am about to start seed sowing for autumn. And it's something that we've messed up every year until now. I now know it has to be done sort of by the 15th of January. Those seeds need to be going in and getting germinated, because what's going to happen is we're going to have a really hot February. Usually we do. And then bang, it'll just turn cool and it's too late. Like, you want your flowers for then. So the things I'm putting in is I'm going to do more of the kale, stock, snapdragons. We keep succession planting sunflowers all through. We'll do that right up past when we think we'll do it right up until I think it's the end of March. We keep planting sunflowers, because if we get a late frost, we will still get sunflowers, and they can deal with a tiny bit of frost, like a very light one. They'll live through that. So we'll continually succession plant that. You saw my disaster about the feverfew, so we've got to get some more cuttings in, get those going. I'm trying to remember what the other autumn crops are. It's all the things that can survive frost. Okay. The cool flower. So cool flowers, most of those you can plant again for autumn. Yes, I'm seed starting almost all the time. Okay. Yeah, I cooked mine. I didn't know how to manage a hothouse, but now I know. You can't leave them shut. Are dried flower arrangements popular over there? I don't think so. I feel like there was this little window a couple of years ago where it tried to make a comeback and it didn't work. That's my view on it. Some people love it, and I saw florists really pushing hard on it, but I'm just not convinced that it did very well. I I kind of feel like I've got all these flowers I'm drying because I figure, why not? I may as well have them. And Shani's got some ideas. She wants to do some really bright wreaths and try and sell them, because we do a market over Easter and it's a really fun market. So she wants that to be her product that she tries to sell at that market. So I'm saving as much as I can, so she's got lots to play with. But otherwise, I don't feel like it is. But I could be proven very wrong on that. Ecole, thank you for teaching me about rooting my holly trees. Oh, good. It's been months, and now I have 2 in water that have roots. Not sure about the ones in soil. I'm afraid to take a look. The ones in the soil, you can really gently just tug on it. If it's got resistance, there's roots there. If it comes out, you've got nothing. So you could, that's an easy way. Just don't pull too hard, because if it's got the really fine roots, it could snap them off. But you just sort of like a little sort of tiny little tug on it and just see. That's how you can check if your cuttings have rooted in the soil. I just need to scroll. Okay. Teaching me. Okay, green trees. Yep. How did your natives proteas do? Terrible. I've given up on the natives in the flower field, but Moroni hasn't. That's his project. So I'm just looking around for the time. Okay, 9:15. He is netting, like not netting, he's putting like cages around everything up there. So he's sort of thinking if he can get it to a certain height, we should be able to have some of those beautiful native trees up there. So they're up behind where the cocoon tunnels are going to be. It raises up. There's a hill up there. They'll get full sun up there, which they need, and really good drainage, because that's another problem on our property. We've got clay soil in a lot of places, and natives just don't like that at all. They like really free draining soil. Right out the front of our property, though, there's a really kind of cute bush sort of area, and I've checked with the neighbours. I'm going to put a native garden out there, so I don't know. I'm basically planting plants for the rabbits to eat, but I'm planting them some more. How did your natives? Oh yeah, okay. Mr. Binks, what tropicals would you like to grow if you could? I'd really like to be able to do stuff like mangoes. It's more food. Mangoes, bananas. I really want to be able to grow bougainvillea vine, which I know isn't particularly a tropical plant, but it doesn't survive frost at all. And I just love it. It's so pretty. And I'm trying to think, where on my property would it be sheltered enough to possibly survive? And I don't think there's anywhere. because anywhere that's sheltered from frost doesn't get enough sun for it to thrive. So bougainvillea is one that I just wish so bad that I could have. And then we do like cactuses, but again, they aren't going to survive our frosts. So they're not tropicals either. And another one is the agave. Um, because Moroni is Mexican, he uses the agave in cooking. So when we cook the meat in the ground, there's a couple up the road. We just go cut a leaf off, but they're really well established, so they're not affected by frost. And they take a really long time to grow. That's the other thing. We should just put some in. You put the agave leaf over the top of the meat and then seal it in the ground, cook it, and the flavor goes through the meat and it's amazing. It tastes so good. It's just such a different sort of flavor. So we have these, there's a few growing on the side of the road around us. We just go and pinch a leaf off those when we're doing the meat. But yeah, that would be another one that I'd like to do. I love the grape trellis video. I also love to tune in, and your videos are so natural. Oh, thank you. Why don't I grow tulips? In Australia, I don't know if you're in Australia. I can't remember where you said you were from, Samantha. It's not cheap to buy tulip bulbs in Australia. I live in an area where I can, like it gets cold enough for long enough. I also haven't found anywhere that has really, really high quality bulb stock or like corm stock. I see people in the US getting bulbs so cheap, like huge amounts of them for like $70, whereas we can be paying a few dollars per bulb. And then you get them and they're not like these lovely big nice things that you see in the US. So that's one. I don't want to invest all that money and then not get the stock that I really was hoping to get, number one. So number two is, if I'm paying, let's say $2 a bulb, I've got to make money off that. I've got to charge at least $6 per stem for tulips, which isn't that far-fetched. I mean, at the wholesaler, they're about $3 a stem, so you've got to charge $9 a stem anyway. But if I'm investing all that money into growing them, I've got to be able to make my money back. And I'm only just making my money back if I'm doing that, because there's care in that and everything. And if I really put it down to it, I don't think I like them enough to put the energy into it, to be honest. Like, I'm not fascinated by them enough to push through those things that I see as barriers. Like, if we're really going to break it down, I think that's what it comes down to. And the other thing is the stems shorten each year. So you buy your bulbs, you may as well pull them out completely out of the ground, because you can store them with the bulb on. Like, you can store the tulips like that and they'll last a really long time. But yeah, I've got to buy new bulbs every year then. And I did buy some, and the stock must have been older stock and the stems are really short. I don't know. I just don't want to do it. Hey, but as a side note, did you know if you're growing peonies, to get a really, really, like, you can store them for weeks and weeks and weeks in a cool room, out of water, wrapped in newspaper, laying on their sides. Did you know that? Oh, he's coming in. He's got undies on, Shani. No, grab him. Sorry. Yeah, go put shorts on. Emergency. I can't be live with a kid running around in undies. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh, the peonies. Look it up. There's a podcast. If I can find that podcast, I'm going to link it in the description of this video once I've uploaded it and set it up on YouTube. It is fascinating, because all I ever see is peonies being stored in water, and they can still blow open. But if you've got them pretty tight, I think it's before the marshmallow stage, but wait till you listen to that podcast to be sure. Storing them sideways, out of water, wrapped in newspaper, just packed in crates. And then when you're ready to use them, you snip the ends, pop them in the water, and they wake up and they're good to go again. So I don't know. I just got way off on a tangent then. Yeah, that's why I don't grow tulips. I would love your next video to be about those seeds you're starting in January for autumn. That's a good idea. I should do that, shouldn't I? So I'm just trying to think. So next week, it might be 2 weeks' time. But that's a really good idea. I'll just write this down, okay? So I don't forget. January seed starting. Okay, it's on the list. Oh, the mistaken garden, you got to go. Thank you so much for being here. That was lovely that you were here. Dried flowers was so big in the 80s that many of us never recovered. I was born in the 80s, but I actually remember that. Okay, we're back. Do you want to say hello?
Hello.
You've got to come over here. You can look into that green dot. You say, hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. You want chips?
Oh, thanks, but I can't eat them because they're going to crinkle. Oh, what are you going to do now, Jamesy?
I built in my house nice.
I'm going to have a look when I come inside, okay?
Can we grab the cars out?
Yeah, can you reach them? I think they're right up the top. You might need Marley to grab that for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I love you.
Oh, Mum, if I can't get them, can you just, like, after this live, can you get them out?
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, pop your shoes on.
Do you want the chips?
No, because I can't eat them while I'm... Okay, off yous go.
I can eat them.
I know. You're going to go outside and eat them? Thank you for visiting.
Oh, God, keep on building your house. No, I want it for you.
Okay, out you go. Shani, you need to just go.
Bye-bye. Love you, Mum.
Love yous. Okay. Yeah, I remember the dried flowers. Bougainvillea is a nightmare. They're so cacti and agaves are just landfill. No, we eat them. Okay, I have cactus that are in the ground here that survive the frost in Canada. What? I should mail you a little one. They do spread. You will never get that plant into Australia. Our quarantine's so strict. You can't send any plant matter into Australia. It just gets confiscated and they burn it. So thank you anyway, but don't risk it. Oh, something's happening and somebody needs to refresh. Okay, I'm watching my iPhone, but it keeps glitching. I keep needing to go out and come back. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening. Mine seems to be fine. Hi, I love your channel. Thank you. I have a flower farm in central West New South Wales. My seed starting greenhouse has a misting system. Oh, that's a good idea. Is it on a timer? Like it just goes off at intervals? I need to do that because I don't want to risk losing all my seeds again. That's a really good idea. Do you grow peonies? No, but I did talk about it earlier, so you'll have to go back and have a listen. Donna, is that a gardener's dream? Yeah. Your children are awesome. Oh, they're such good kids. Mr. Binks. Oh, yeah, it's on a misting timer. Yeah, okay. That's a really good idea. Okay. I think it's a good time to wrap it up. What do you think? Unless anybody's got any more questions, I think I don't have anything else to say other than thank you so much. You know, it wouldn't be as fun for me if yous weren't around. I mean, I couldn't do a live without people. That would be very weird. But I mean, overall, having a channel, I feel like because it's growing slow too, we've got this really nice community of lovely people. And I love it that you talk to each other. So that's what I'm kind of hoping. I don't know how this big, well, it may not be big. I don't know how many people will come. But this video call where we can all sort of see each other and communicate, it could be absolute chaos. So if you come along, come with no expectations of what that could be like because I don't know. I'm just something I want to try and we can see how it works. But something I do want to ask, was this a good time of day? Did this kind of work? Because our time, like our what's it called? Daylight savings and stuff isn't going to change. I don't think it's changing really for anyone in the next couple of weeks. So I was thinking of doing it at this time again, if that works for you, if you wanted to come. So let me know. Do you keep up with what flower seeds bulbs are new on the market every year? Not really. I do get emails from seed companies about what's going on. Often they're sort of new cultivars of a variety I've already tried, and I don't know, I almost, in a way, at this point, like to have liked to keep things simple because we've been building the farm from scratch by hand, really, and it's been such an exhausting ordeal that it hasn't been on my radar, and maybe it'll hit my radar, and I'll get into trialing new plants. I'm trying that Callaway, I don't know how to say it, that little yellow daisy. I put a picture up on Instagram the other day. That's something I tried this year. And initially, when it first started to grow like flowers, I thought, oh no, it looks like a dandelion and I can't put that in a bouquet. But excuse me, now it's matured a little bit. It's actually very cute and it looks really cute in native bouquets. And they've got these massive centers with the little petals around. So that's something. But yeah, I haven't really kept up with it. I'm going to do a harvest for an order this morning. We'll come back and watch the rest of the recording. I really enjoyed this so far. Thanks for amazing content. You're welcome. Enjoy. That's good that you've got a harvest for an order. Sherry, I've managed to get all my kitchen clean listening to you with my headphones. Perfect. That's the thing I like about lives because nothing much visually is happening. You can just listen to them. I like that too. Okay, good time of day for me. Yes, for New Zealand. Excellent. Great time for me in New South Wales. Saturdays are good. Thanks. I've enjoyed. All right, let's try and do a proper like face-to-face one next time. That'll be fun. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you for Mr. Binks the cat. I'm so excited that a cat's our moderator. That's a fun thing. Hey. All right, go and enjoy your day, everyone, or your night. Thank you. And I'll see you in the comments section on videos. And hopefully we see each other on Instagram and on this, what I don't know what to call it, like a video call, like a proper video call. I mean, I do that with on Patreon, but this is just open to everybody, like a freebie for you all. Okay. All right, I'm gonna end the stream now. See yous.